All right, welcome back. So, I trust you have been enjoying the conversation with me. Though I am doing this monologue video with the course forum, we can have a dialogue. In the last lecture, I have requested you to actually uh, get an idea on your business model canvas of your idea, your particular idea. That can be very rewarding for you. That can be a real exercise, right? If you are a startup founder, co-founder, or any employee, you have a chance to actually make a difference. Now, sitting with the business model canvas, putting all the components, assumptions, and hypotheses in a place, and then testing all of those hypotheses through BML loop given by the Eric Ries. Build, measure, and learn. Minimum viable product or concept. If you have a product out of all of these thinking, you test minimum viable product. So what is a minimum viable product? Right. For example, if you are building a web service, so you may be just building a prototype and launching it online without full functionalities, or even just putting a fake demo site. Just check how many people actually download it. So you will see the traction on the business idea, the concept, the main thinking behind the business. So you see how many acquisition you have, how many attraction you have. Based on that, you can also develop another pivot, and another pivot, and get growing in testing all of the ideas and assumptions. But once you have done all of those through the business model canvas, right? You have validated the business model, you have validated the product idea, product market fit, then now you have to move to the company creation, or actually the customer creation. That's where we are having conversation today. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay. Customer creation or company creation. Till now, we have actually validated the business model, but we have not created the revenue creating a reliable and retention oriented and loyal customer. So now this part is very, very fundamental. Now we are moving from the left side of the equation to the right side of the equation of the customer development model. So previously we have been focusing mainly on this side, right? This part is the hardest part. And we have crossed the chasm and we have come to customer or company creation side. See, this is very, very challenging to understand the customer in this phase. While you have maybe testing your product market fit in multiple segments. Now you will be capitalizing into particular segment here and then building growth business out of that. Here, you will be testing all growth hypotheses. Do you recall what were the growth hypotheses? If I recall, there was a slide into our lean startup thinking, right? No, it was not in lean startup. Actually, was it somewhere? If you recall, let me check. Which one was it? Let's not get distracted with that. Just let's get back to this again and let's start sharing here. And then we go to share and then go to the PowerPoint. Open this thing called again with this model canvas. We had it. So you get to this level here now. We have fixed this part. We have now fixed this part, understood this part, and we understand the cost structure and revenue structure. Now we have to build a real customer, paying customer, and giving average revenue per user going high and high for a certain time, and then when number of users get down, then the average revenue per curve settle down like this. First high, and then that is stable like this. This average per revenue indicator will give you some insight whether you are actually building the right customer or not. And here you are talking about customer lifetime value. You're measuring the whole value created by the customer. Okay? And then you may be willing to actually get to the another thinking. Now, I have created a customer that is actually paying, loyal, and then actually I can scale that customer for a customer segment, and I can use his endorsements for going to other customers. That is the some level of virality or some level of referral revenue. Once that happens, a word of mouth spreads. You have achieved what is actually very, very important for your business. And you will be able to execute that very, very in a growth business, in a long funnel, and you can grow the business further. Okay, and this is very important now. I have said that earlier also. I'm repeating again. And this curve tells you everything that is needed to build your business from this part of the equation to this part of the equation. Please remember, when you reach here in the saturation point, you better already start somewhere here, another curve or another innovation or another product. Otherwise, you will not survive, or new innovation that will be cannibalizing itself. It is called creative destruction also sometimes. Okay. But moving from this part to this part, like jumping from here to here, it is a nightmare. And many people do not do this pivot, go back here and then iterate this part completely with customer development model, customer discovery and validation, validation and discovery, and cycling a couple of times. And understanding that product market fit is a very, very wise moment, and then scaling the company further. Okay. And I said earlier also here, the wisdom from crossing the chasm from Jeffrey Moore is very, very important. How the early innovators are not the majority customers. Here you have early innovators that are testing your products, but here your majority customers that are giving you the revenue. So this part will be different, and you keep your business model canvas all the time ready and check and test what is actually changing, which customer segments is pulling you towards the growth curve, and what value proposition you have to adjust, modify, innovate, do in transient competitive advantage if you cannot create the sustainable long-term competitive advantage. With this note, like for example, in telecommunication business, I always give that example because I'm familiar, very, very much familiar to that. So with the GSM business, this curve was fine with Nokia and Ericsson and others. But when Apple came into the business, then Apple or the Google came into the business, then they came up with a new operating system with their new operating software. Like with Apple, it was iOS, and with Google, it was Android. When these two operating systems actually built the ecosystem, they changed the business model. Earlier, mobile phone was a calling business only. Now, mobile phone with 3G and internet into the pocket, it is becoming really a mini computer. The whole business model changed. Whole application systems came into the picture, right? I remember having reading some news report into Kaupa Lehti, that is Finnish business outlet, a newspaper outlet or magazine outlet, and they have been covering this news like when main institutional investor of Nokia actually sold off the whole investment they had in Nokia. It was the point when he was actually watching his daughter, 13-year-old daughter, to using Facebook with Windows mobile phone, that is smartphone. At that time, when she complained that Facebook doesn't work in Windows Mobile, or it is having crashing, and this is the problem. Usability is not good, and it is not functioning well, and Lumia is failing in her hand. At that point, he realized that the mobile phone is good. Actually, it is built robust, everything, and technology, and whatever is there, or chips capacity, or manufacturing capacity, everything is there. But somehow it is not actually user-friendly, nor it is running the applications well. And there were not many applications actually into those mobile related ecosystem. And whatever was there also was not functioning well. And at that point, this transition from here, and they have created the business model of third mobile ecosystem with Windows Mobile, but they could not actually move from here to here. They could not transition. But actually, they did not even iterate here properly before coming to the next curve. And there was no time for them to do this, all the iterations and fine tuning and building the whole ecosystem, like $1 billion funded by Bill Gates and Microsoft into the system, and even bringing Stephen Elop as the CEO of the Nokia. And later, then Stephen Elop went back to Microsoft, and actually Nokia had to sell the Nokia mobile phone business. At that time, he took the whole business with him, and whatever was built for so many years with the hard work of engineers and scientists like me and business people like me, it was somehow at some point actually sold off completely to almost of no value. It was not even very justified valuation, because share price was crashing, and the value of the market was very, very low. What I'm trying to reason with you is that not only for startups, this model is actually valid for entrepreneurial ventures inside the company which are innovating all the time. Like Nokia, Apple, Google, Microsoft, everybody, they can use these models of these entrepreneurship, high growth entrepreneurship thinking into their day-to-day business. So entrepreneurship in these companies is nothing like, it is not like an isolated thinking. Entrepreneurship is inbuilt into the culture. Similarly, in startup, in high growth entrepreneurship culture, then these models and these thinkings should be so transparent, so vivid, that everybody has to able to understand what I'm building, what are the granularity of growth. Am I actually having sticky growth, or am I having paid growth here, or am I having viral growth? Like Facebook was built in the product itself that it is viral there. Many others use paid advertising, the majority of the traditional businesses for growth. And then sticky growth also, like once people get into the product, they get they have this habitual effect that they get addicted, and they keep on using. Even Facebook has that addiction and sticky part also. So Facebook has used this virality and stickiness both, so that people cannot get out of the product. The iPhone is also the same product, that it uses the similar logic. Like I have, when I start to use, so it's friendly, so nicely done, and all applications run well, and then no crashing and nothing mostly. So there's this feeling that I have stickiness also, and I start to recommend my friends. Those viral component starts to take off. So these kind of models can be tested, can be validated with the business model canvas also, or growth hypothesis canvas, and then actually built further from here, right? And then the whole company creation, company scaling, customer creation, everything starts from this part onwards of here. And on saturation, before saturation, you innovate or you die. Basically, this is the fundamental concept. This is my logo into the course also. And this is whole kind of, I'm trying to preach in multiple courses. I have other courses also. If you want to join, please join there also. In multiple ideas I'm thinking. Okay. With that, we are actually on a situation to reflect on growth hypothesis, right? We have done just now 3 growth hypotheses, either paid growth or sticky growth or viral growth. If you can build a couple of these tests with your business model canvas or growth canvas, then you will be able to understand with the customer which flies for you, which is the best model for you. Like in Eric Ries's Lean Startup book, he has been talking about his startup Imbu, and he has been illustrating that further, how he did all of this testing and then where he failed and what happened and so on and so forth. But in many of the other ventures, like where Steve Blank has been doing these with scientists and all, even in defense forces and everywhere, he is using lean startup thinking and customer business model, and then also the canvas, business model canvas for his teaching, and also his lean launchpad is there. He is teaching that course also. If you want to go deep dive and then actually participate with them, I strongly recommend that. But having said that, once we have built these ideas here, now when we have the business model canvas and when we have the growth hypothesis done well, we can actually now invest more time into company building. That is the next part of the equation, and we'll be discussing that.